Hello everyone, the theme here, and I want to talk about Sony's press conference from the Paris Games Week 2015. Now, this is Sony's first ever conference in the Paris Games Week, and wow, they came in and they just said, you want some games? Here. That was pretty much the whole setting of the conference. I'm not gonna say that I was totally blown away, but I was pretty impressed, to say the least. This is coming from someone that doesn't have a PlayStation 4, and I'm just like, wow. They covered most bases as far as fans of different types of games. There were things that they reminded us of, and that's the way that the conference started. It started with a montage and an intro, and they actually said thank you, because this is the 20th anniversary of the Sony PlayStation. And with that comes to the point where it's like, look, you need to prove yourselves here. You need to remind everybody, every gamer, why you're here. And this conference was pretty much that. They just came out and they were like, all right, games, and games. So here we go with the games. Besides the things that you already do like Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, and now they're gonna have a PlayStation 4 bundle of Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, and it's like, all right, fine. People will buy it just because. There are a lot of people that like Call of Duty out there, and I don't blame them for having that bundle. It was the same thing with the freaking Star Wars Battlefront. They have the Darth Vader. They have the Darth Vader PlayStation 4 as well, and they pretty much was like Princess Leia, Han Solo, Emperor Palpatine, Boba Fett. They're in the game, and you're going to be for and against them, whatever. But it's pretty cool to see them there. Okay? So, then you move on to Street Fighter V. They announced Dhalsim. And damn, they really did some work with Dhalsim, okay? If you already knew how to play with him, he was already a good character to play with. Because some people are like, oh, Dhalsim sucks. Wait, in whose hands? Really depends on who's playing. Who's playing the game and who knows how to work that character, okay? And it seems like, they gave him a couple of new moves, and I'm like, whoa, that's going to be something else. Like, yeah, they showed him abusing Zangief when they were showing his trailer, and, he grew a beard, and it's pretty cool to see that roster shape up. Plus, they announced throughout 2016, they're going to announce 6 more characters that you can earn or you can buy through microtransactioning. But I prefer to fucking earn them. That's the way you should That's the way you should play the game. You should play, you should earn, and then you should have them. That's just my opinion, of course, because some people just. So then you go from that, and then you go to Tekken 7. Now, one of the executive producers comes out and pretty much, they try to say he's in Street Fighter 5. No, he's not in Street Fighter 5. Okay, no, he's not. just nix that, all right? So, Tekken 7, PlayStation 4. We already knew that, pretty much, but they say that this game is going to explain the Mishima family. That's going to be very interesting. And I found it very interesting that they went from Street Fighter 5 to Tekken 7, because maybe they hinted at a crossover again. There's supposed to be a Tekken's cross Street Fighter, where it's the 3D styles of those two games that will clash. I hope that does happen, and I hope it's way better than Street Fighter Cross Tekken, because that game was But moving on from that. So from there, you go from there, and then you go to a whole bunch of other games that are either have exclusive content on the PS4, or they're gonna be PS4 exclusive. Okay. All right. Now, what took place after this was something else entirely, because most people are like, PlayStation 4 has no games. They have no exclusives. They have no games. And it's like, all right, look. Regardless, of what games that you like to play. It's really up to you of what style of game that you play and what do you want as far as your experience goes. People have Xbox Ones for specific reasons. Same with Wii U, same with PlayStation 4. I just like gaming all around. And I said before on this channel, competition is what makes gaming thrive. So with that being said, I just want the best gaming possible from all companies because it's all about gaming to me. That's what actually speaks volumes to me, and that's I do want all of the gaming industry to just keep going and keep going and keep going. Fuck that Sarkeesian shit. Just keep going, please. All right. So you have Battleborn. Battleborn was pretty interesting, to say the least. It wasn't. Okay, most of the things that I'm going to announce, that I'm going to talk about, are not console sellers, but they're good games in their own right. There were good trailers in their own right. So yeah, there was Battleborn, which was pretty damn interesting. Boundless. They showed a little trailer about characters going through like warping gates. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, wow. Then you had other characters meet from different realms and go on one realm, and then they, use some grappling hooks to get up to this like floating castle or whatever. And then I guess that's what the setting of the game is. All these realms were in danger, so warriors had to come from each realm and go attack people of this realm to stop this realm from taking over. I don't know the story, but that seems like the way that was building up to me. That's just the way that seemed. Okay, Vector. Vector reminds me so much of Rez. If you've never played Rez, that was a rhythm-based game by Sega. And Vector reminds me so much of that. And Vector's going to have multiplayer. I hope to God that this game just blows everybody away as far as it being a good rhythm-based game, because we haven't had one of those in quite some time. So, yeah. They go from there, and then No Man's Sky. Alright. No Man's Sky. Sandbox. Space. Alright. Sandbox on planet Earth. We've already seen that, regardless if those cities aren't real. We've already seen that. Now, we get to go out there. Way out there. Clash with Duck Dodgers, all that. I don't care. Gotta go out there, and now we got Sandbox out there. They finally announced a month for that. It's going to be come out in June 2016, which narrows it down a bit. Not an official date, but at least they announced a month. As long as they don't delay it, it'll be all right. No Man's Sky, looking forward to all of that. Please. I mean, damn, like I said, it's out there. Wow. Matterfall. They showed a trailer of that, and it seemed like forming molecules over your gun, and it was red and blue molecules forming, and yeah, it was a full motion video trailer, but it looks pretty interesting. I hope that, I don't know if it's going to be first person, third person, or even a side scroller, but I just hope that all of that takes place. It looks pretty cool for a trailer. So yeah, once again, 2016. Yeah, you can expect that. All right. Goodness. It's funny how certain games present themselves, and you get certain games that you knew that they were coming out, and then they kind of announced more with it. It's kind of like what they did with Gravity Rush 2. They announced a couple of different modes. They had, not modes, but a couple of different features. They had Lunar and Jupiter mode. Lunar makes you lighter and faster. Jupiter makes you heavier and more powerful. And, you're flying around in the air. And now they got tag team mode and stuff like that. And big bosses. And that game looks very interesting. Very interesting, to say the least. As far as I'm concerned. That's just an opinion of mine. But, yeah. Okay. Uncharted 4 multiplayer. As long as that is fast-paced the way it was, I see no issues with that. I hope that yes, it was just a little gameplay trailer of how everything was going to be happening. But I hope with the features of Uncharted 4 that it has, and I hope that the gameplay is as fast as they showed it. That will be very, very cool for a multiplayer aspect as far as having a game and having a multiplayer. Just don't make us microtransaction a multiplayer. Please don't. All right, no. Just give us the multiplayer along with the game when it first comes out. Please. Period. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot. Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank makes its PlayStation 4 debut. I think Ratchet and Clank skipped to PlayStation 3, and now they're coming on PlayStation 4. Space Adventures and Saving the Galaxy, whatever. I hope that's good. It looks pretty interesting and intriguing because of the different gameplay modes that they had in the trailer that they showed us. So yeah, looking forward to that. All right. Now, besides the Gravity Rush and Uncharted multiplayer, they once again showed Horizon. They showed the gameplay, and once again, and many people are interested in that. I was so happy that during this demo, you know, the main character, the female, she doesn't narrate all the time like she did in E3. I'm glad that she was like, until like the very end when she says time to shut you down. I'm good with that. As long as she doesn't narrate everything that she does, this game would, you know, should be relatively good. I mean, I just want a good story with that game. Gameplay looks promising, but I want a good story because that's most likely gonna make or break the game as far as people liking it or not, or maybe getting it or not. I mean, most people are not hooked on video game stories now. They just want to pick up and play stuff and not know anything that's going on. But I'm more of a story type of person with gameplay. All of that has to be intertwined. That's just me. So yeah, Horizon looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm looking forward to that. So please, yeah, and just make that cool. Okay. So, all right. Besides all that, you did have the PlayStation VR, certain games announced for that. Riggs looks like some type of first-person sports crossover type of thing. You know, you had to score goals and you still had to shoot people up, which was pretty cool. You know, Robinson the Journey looks fantastic on PlayStation VR. As long as they keep it in line, that's pretty cool. Yeah, The Walk. This was very interesting to me. Why? Because it's a movie for one, and two, put it on the goggles and trying to balance and stuff like that, and the trick your brain to actually believe that you're doing that. And they actually didn't show like well, they actually show people walking, but yes, you can take that with a grain of salt because you have to actually wear it and then you have to actually do it in order to get the feel. But it looks pretty interesting that if PlayStation VR involves movies with the VR, and as far as certain situations, that could go over the top. As far as having exclusivity, that could do wonders because a lot of people, including myself, are not sold on VR right now. We're just not. Price and games are gonna make and break the VRs, the goggles, the helmets, whatever. I'm just not sold on it. Not yet. I just need games and right prices for those. If they cost as much as consoles, which they most likely will, forget it. I'm just not gonna. No, But I do appreciate that they're trying. But I think that each and every goggles or VR, I don't think that's gonna be the future wave. I think there's just gonna be peripherals that are gonna come in and mysteriously leave because they're not getting that much support, or they won't sell well. That's just my prediction, in my opinion. So I mean, if you think anything otherwise from those, please leave a comment below. I would love to read everybody else's thoughts on this conference and what I talk about, and specifically the VR section. So, okay. They announced a couple of games, then they showed a couple of them, like the London Heist. They showed like, damn, I'm forgetting here. Tekken 7 also is going to be compatible with the PlayStation VR. First person, and I want to see how they do that. I really do want to see how they do that. That's going to be very interesting. I really, yeah. Fighting games don't really work with first person views. So I just gotta, I would have to see that in action first. Because, again, fighting game with first person views, you get knocked up in the air, you're getting messed up like that, and on the ground, and what about King's Throws? And I would have to see that in action before I get sold on that. Or even when you're fighting and when you're doing and when you're throwing, and I don't know. I don't know. It's, people rather would stick to tradition when it comes to fighting games and when it comes to the way they view these games. So I don't know if I'm actually gonna jump on board with any of that just yet, as far as the VRs. But they showed an Until Dawn VR. They showed a Final Fantasy 14 VR. That was pretty of an announcement. It's like, whoa, wait, Final Fantasy 14? Yeah, okay. That's pretty interesting. Eve the Valkyrie, I think was, showed a brief little full motion video gameplay trailer of it for PlayStation VR. Yeah, so Dreams. Oh God, I don't know what to say. If this is what they have in store for Dreams, where do I sign? As far as what they demoed and what they created, this looked like just a way more advanced, like, Mario Paint. I mean, I don't mean to compare it to that, but if you can just think it and just make it, and if you're patient enough, and the montage that they showed at the end was just more than just messing around. No, they made like their own stages and certain games, like even like I think like a soccer or goal game or something like that. I'm sitting there and I'm like, whoa! They actually demoed this game on the stage, controller in hand, moving back and forth, and no, they didn't have a VR to it, but yeah, they were doing and creating and doing everything on stage, and I'm like, yeah, I would be very sold on that if everything is just like they say it is. But again, I would have to have controller in hand and check it out. But wow, yeah, Dreams and No Man's Sky are two games that I'm very sold on when it comes to the PS4, but I need to see more of in order for me to be absolutely convinced. They won't be system sellers, don't get me wrong, but I still want to be convinced of those two games as far as the magnitude of fun that you can have with those two. That's just me with those two games. Gran Turismo Sport. Alright, Gran Turismo returns. So now PlayStation has two racing games. They have Drive Club, which Drive Club Bikes was announced, and they're gonna have Gran Turismo that's coming back. Damn it, Microsoft! Why didn't you keep Project Gotham? I don't understand that, but okay, I digress. So yeah, I know I missed a lot, but that's at the top of my head as far as what went on at this conference. Go check out the conference for yourself, because not only that they talked about good games that are coming in 2016, they actually demoed these games for the most part. And the games that you already knew that they were coming out, they showcased them a bit more. They didn't elaborate on things that they already announced, like at E3 or at Tokyo Game Show. They didn't go, no, but looks like 2016 has a lot in store for gamers as far as from Microsoft and Sony. Sony has now got the advantage as far as all these games that are coming out. Microsoft, they need to do something and do something quick. They're okay. You just have Halo 5 released, And after that, you have Tomb Raider. That's a time exclusive. Sony's getting that too. And next year, yeah, for Microsoft, there's Crackdown, there's Scalebound, and there's Quantum Break. Yes, those 3 are coming. But Microsoft needs more to the party. Yeah, they have Gears 4 and they have Halo Wars 2. Yeah, but they need to bring more to the party for certain masses that are going to be wanting more games for it. But this show, I was completely like, whoa, game. They just kept announcing stuff. And when it stopped announcing, it was a gameplay or it was like a good trailer. And the final trailer was Detroit Become Human. Okay. I am not totally sold on that yet, but I am interested. It did capture my interest a bit. I just gotta see gameplay. I gotta know the story. The story has got to grip me in order for me to be interested. So those are my thoughts and opinions about this. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to talk about Wild. Wild was... Okay. You're a shaman, and you can possess other animals. Like, you can take over their souls and do their traits. Like, they showed an eagle go and get a snake because he had to save someone that was bit by a snake. So he had to go get the snake. He called a bear, he got on the bear, and then you had cannibals in his way. He got into a rabbit, and then he went past him. He got into some freaking ravens and scared them away. He rode on the bear, and they ran for their lives. And then he went to the sacred place, dropped the snake off, and yeah, tell me how to use this snake to get a cure so I can help the person in trouble. I thought that was very interesting. If you have separate missions like that, that game could be pretty cool, as long as they keep it going. It looked pretty interesting, but there has to be a point to it. There has to be a story. There has to be a mission of some sort to actually grip you to keep playing and to keep coming back. Maybe they'll have missions for it. I don't know. But at the same time, I still thought it was pretty cool. So, yes, I think there's a lot that I did miss here. But those are most of the games that I felt that they were that was interesting to me. That's just my opinion. I would like to read your opinions and your comments about this show. Listen, no fanboy bullshit, alright? I'm a gamer. I don't play video game systems, I play video games. And plus, I covered Microsoft's conferences. I did Gamescom. I covered their conference before because they brought games. Sony just brought games at the Tokyo Game Show and at the Paris Games Week. They just brought games. Microsoft, bring games. Nintendo, bring games. I don't care where the games come from, as long as they're motherfucking good and motherfucking fun. That's all that matters to me. So, once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming, this is the theme. And I'll see you later. Credits.